All right, we have another R&B breakdown. This time it's going to be "You Got It Bad" by Usher. I have not seen this video, but I do recall the song vaguely, but I don't remember a couple of the lyrics. But honestly, like a lot of the stuff I listened to when I was younger, uh, I really didn't pay attention to lyrics that much. And then when I got older, I actually did listen to the lyrics, and most of the time I was disappointed. But sometimes I wasn't. Sometimes it was actually the song actually meant something completely different, which was really fun. Um, or or maybe it was better than what I thought. So, oh, let's stick it out and see what happens here. I'll see if I can follow along. All right, so automatically, he's in a room sleeping here, hotel probably. Okay, y'all don't know how to talk to people now, not people, me. I'm sure there's going to be some context here in just a second. You're not talking to me sometimes. Okay. Usher says, wait, what? Now what did I say?
It's the way you say stuff. What did I say?
It's the way you say stuff. See, this is actually a very common thing in relationships, or actually in any general kind of conversation. The way you say something, right? I mean, there's an old joke, like you can use, you can use like specific words like the F word and things like this, and it's actually how you use it, the inflection and all this that can actually make it good or bad, but it's the same word. This also will come along with when you've been with somebody too long. You've been with somebody too long, and maybe too long meaning this isn't probably the right person for you, but you stay with them too long, and now everything that you do annoys them, including breathing. So, chewing food and stuff like that. People are together too long. That happens. So I can understand when she says it's kind of the way you say stuff. This is a common thing in relationships, but it's usually relationships that are in a bit of trouble. But relationships go up and down, so they go through waves to a certain degree. Usher's here is responding with saying like, "What did I say?" That's a pretty standard thing, when somebody's just breathing or chewing or something, or maybe he did say something that was actually not very nice, or maybe just unthoughtful, or just kind of just flippant. I think generally the person's kind of confused because it's usually something very mundane. It's not very, very obvious. So, this appears to be a relationship that may have been going on too long, but maybe not. I could be wrong here. Okay, wait a second. So I know this. I think I know this girl. This girl, I remember her. I think she was in TLC. Maybe was she in TLC? I think it was TLC in the 90s. There's a girl band. I think it was like three girls. I think she was one of them. I think one of them had a patch on her eye or something, and then the other one had like a lot of overalls going on, a lot of overall wearing. All right, so let me move on here. The part about listening to you, trusting you, that's cool. That's cool. You know what I'm saying. I actually don't know what you're saying. Trusting you, it's cool. It's not cool if you don't trust someone. This is a major problem in a relationship. I would say that the old adage or the old saying is, trust is gone. That's it. It's over. It's done. It's going to be very difficult. The only way to actually get out of that is actually transcend the relationship to a certain degree, or bring the relationship to a different level. And the only way to actually do that is actually to take yourself outside of yourself and probably look to God or something more religious that can be more of a maybe not even religious, just to kind of believe in some kind of a higher power. Maybe something that has a structure though, that you both can kind of believe in, and both have some sort of like some forgiveness for each other, and maybe some pathway to redemption. So, I don't know. You know what I'm saying. He probably doesn't know what you're saying. I'm just gonna say like most of the time, especially when it comes to men, we don't know what you're saying. Uh, that's a common thing that happens quite a bit, especially when you're trying to like. I know there's a lot of difference between men and women. Like men are supposed to read their minds, and men are insensitive. All those other things. There's a lot of things that go back and forth, back and forth. Both have their points. Men and women both have their points. But I will say this is a pretty common thing that's said. You know what I'm saying. a lot of times, the person really doesn't know what you're saying. You should just actually say it, just say what you mean what you say. And this goes for both sides. It's not just women saying this. It's for the man too. So, that's always kind of bothered me. You know what I'm saying? Well, it's kind of a follow up to something. If you speak clear enough, then they should know what you're saying. Okay, I'll move on. A little bit of flashback here. So apparently there was a real relationship. I don't know if maybe they had a relationship with the TLC girl. I don't know. The overalls. I don't know if that was the case. We got a little dog tag here. I didn't know he was military. So a little military thing going on there. Okay, a little love thing. This must be another video they did together or something. Or you know what? Maybe I'm completely off here. Maybe, she's just an actor kind of stepping in here, posing as the girlfriend that he was having trouble with. Well, honestly, I don't know if there's trouble, but it seems like there is. So, oh no. Oh, you scared me. Okay, it's just having a little fun. Nothing wrong with that. And they said it wouldn't last. Oh, it was it last? He was fading out. Okay. So then they said it wouldn't last. Well, who's they? I mean, I guess if they're in the public eye, they is going to be, tabloids and all these things. I don't know who reads that stuff or who watches. Well, I don't know. I don't really watch a lot. Well, that's a whole nother issue, celebrities and all these things that people get obsessed with. But I know there's tabloids and things like this that keep tabs on like celebrities and all this and relationships. And I've always found that interesting. I suppose there's certain types of people that gravitate towards that, and find that interesting and fulfilling in some sort of way, or just, entertaining. So I don't know. Maybe this is someone saying it wouldn't last. So there must have been some sort of issue, maybe, possibly. Tabloids aren't always true. Usually it's all kind of lie. It's all a lie usually. So he's having a dream, apparently. Okay, so this is the part I remember. I remember the song. What's on the floor here? What's over here? What's this? Those clothes? What is that? Looks like a doll. Is that a doll? I don't know what that is. Nice. The wind's coming. They need to take the wind down just a little bit. But I do like the effect. I like the sound. It reminds me of they used to have these those little machines that make like wind sounds and water sounds and rain sounds and all these things, and you can actually go to sleep to it. You used to have to buy those individual, like a little machine that's all it did. Now you got your phone, you can do that. But it kind of reminds me of, it could be kind of like a ASMR kind of thing, so that'd be kind of cool. Got a little TV watching here. So some stuff's caught on camera. This is generally not good to fight in public. I've advised people in my life, to be very careful when you get into arguments and things like this. You generally don't want to do it in public. It's just uncomfortable for everybody, watching. It can be kind of. I guess some people find it entertaining nowadays. It's in these days everybody records record everything, but yeah, it's not something is usually going to benefit you in any kind of way. And sometimes it's hard to avoid, getting into a fight or arguing in public. I certainly have, I'm sure, in the past, and your emotions take control of you, and then that's it. So, but just as a general rule, it would be a good idea, just especially if you're famous. So if you're famous, they're waiting for something to happen. So I believe USHER, he is famous, obviously, and so and this other girl, I'm pretty sure she's famous because I'm pretty sure it's TLC girl. I could be wrong here, but so I just want to point that out. They got you on TV doing something, so okay. So there's a little bit. Okay, this is getting aggressive here. Oh, cool. So he knows what I'm talking about. He's pointing at the camera. He's saying, "Look, they're watching us. They're going to make a big issue out of this. Now there's going to be something. Oh, there you go, an exclusive. There's going to be exclusive here on some channel here." And now we're going to be in trouble. And now he's going to chase the camera guys, what it looks like. That is also a very bad idea. Because if you actually catch the person, what are you going to do? If the person doesn't run, he just stands there and you catch him. I mean, if you break their camera, you have to pay for it. And you're wealthy, so who cares? But if you hurt that person or they sue you or things like this is going to be, if you attack the person, they're going to sue you. You're going to lose $1 million, right? Like, pretty good. You're on camera. So, and honestly, the person wasn't doing anything. You're technically wrong here. I mean, you're in public arguing. Somebody has a camera. I mean, it's legal to do that. So, I mean, you're attacking. So that's just wrong. And yeah, emotions get to take over, and you get angry, and then he can't really take it out on her. He can't really go beat her up. So there's a camera guy, and he's going to probably go over there and take out some of his aggression on the camera guy, which is pretty standard stuff. I think that's been kind of historically true. The camera guy usually gets beat up or gets hurt in the process, or he beats somebody else up. I don't know, but I've seen that happen too. Okay, so get out of here, cover the camera. If you're going to charge the camera, it just looks ridiculous if you don't actually get the camera. So if you just start waving your hand in front of the camera and then you just try to like, get out of here, just wave your, it looks even worse. So either take the camera and break it, pay for the camera, or because you had conviction in what you wanted to do, or you just completely ignore it. And generally, just completely ignoring it is the right thing. Completely ignore it, walk away, argue inside the car as well, don't drive, but argue inside the car. Argue when you get home. Just ignore for a little bit, or ignore him for a little bit, and get home, and then have it out there. So he notices that right at the bat. Look at him. He knows, like, damn, I shouldn't have done that. I look ridiculous. Like he's the look on his face. He's like, man, I look ridiculous. That's a big diamond earring, by the way. A little step there. Oh, I remember him being a good dancer. So he was like he's danced with Michael Jackson a couple times. I think I remember back in the day. He was like he's a good dancer. Got the glove there. Nice touch. Oh, it's okay. Here's some more going on here. So they must have really been something here. I think this isn't something just made up here. So the final fight ends affair. The final fight ends affair. So an affair doesn't end the relationship. The final fight, so the affair, like their relationship. So the final fight ends affair. No, wait. Final fight ends affair. Oh, okay, so there was an affair, and the fight causes the end. All right, let's move along. I think I got that right. Okay. Okay, that's true. There's a lot of songs written about this. Well, and just in general, and this kind of goes one way, to be honest. You have a guy, he meets a girl, and then it changes everything. The band breaks up. You don't see the guy you go fishing anymore. He doesn't, you don't see him in class anymore. He's with his girl all the time. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think that a lot of this can just fall under a lot of factors like lust and, not lust. I shouldn't say that. Just, the butterflies. You get the butterflies and everything's new and exciting, and then you just want to spend all your time with that person. And so that does make sense that that the person will consume all your time, but then, you lose your crew. So he's supposed to like hanging out with my crew, changes his ways, and that's fine. That happens, but it always usually comes full circle. It comes full circle no matter what. If they stay with the person, it becomes that kind of, they start to settle down, and then you come back to your crew. And then if you walk away from each other, then you kind of just lost your crew for, a few months, and then boom, you lost it. And then, or maybe a year, maybe longer, but it always comes back to the crew. You always end up going back to your crew. So, but that's technically when something could be serious, You act like you're ready, but you don't really know. This is a good point. Change is very difficult. If you are hanging with your crew and you have your regular routines and all these things, most men are generally really routine. Not just men, women too, but I just find, especially routine-oriented people, when something happens, it's you're not really sure when something new enters into the arena, you're not really sure you should go to it or just stick with your routine. Routines are there. Routines, you start new routines, you add to your routines. So everything's constantly changing. So, but when you meet someone, I would say, like, as far as relationship or somebody you love and all these things, this is a big deal. This is a big part of life. So, you're ready to be, you don't really know. You don't really know. So I agree with that. You don't really know. Everything you passion want to let it go. I've been there, done it, humped around. So I believe what he's saying here is that uh, he wants to let go of some of the jadedness he had from like maybe previous relationships where some had failed and all these things. He doesn't want to put into the new relationship. But then he kind of adds the humped around. He probably could have left that one out, especially when you're, if you're dating someone new. I've been there, done it. I've humped around. I wouldn't say hump around too much. That's generally not helpful to the relationship, to the new relationship, because then the person's going to ask, well, how much did you hump around and who did you hump around with? And just hump in general is not a good, I don't know, just me. It's not a term. Maybe it's just for the song to rhyme, but humping around is not something that I find that would be appealing to anyone. Well, I mean, obviously it is. I mean, he's famous, and this is, I listened to the song. I actually liked it when it came on, so it must have worked. Okay, so he has experience. He's going to use his wisdom now. So we're waiting for the wisdom to come. So here comes the wisdom. Nobody wants to be alone. That's an interesting statement. I think people do want to be alone, but for a time. I don't think people want to be alone forever. I think human beings were designed to be around each other and to congregate and communicate with each other in communication. But there are certainly times when you should be alone. This becomes to where people become dependent on other people, and they start to, they can't be alone. They can't, they have to be distracted all the time, or they have to have someone there. They become codependent and all these things. All that stuff can happen. So some time alone actually does wonders for people, honestly, because then everything you kind of have to like entertain yourself. You got to entertain yourself, and you got to figure out a bit of life, and things look a little different. And so making your own decisions and all this. So it actually, so people do want to be alone. But I would say that as a general rule, he's right. Nobody wants to be alone, as far as like, maybe he means is not having a relationship. And even that, I would say it's actually good to be alone and not be in a relationship, especially if you had a relationship and you're out of a relationship. It's probably good just to not be in a relationship for a little while, figure things out. All right. Everlasting Color. So now she's doing commercials. And this can be kind of difficult because when you break up with somebody, especially somebody famous, and you see them on television doing other things, you're constantly reminded of them. When you actually just need some time alone and time to to process things. And then, of course, if they're famous and they start dating someone else and you're watching them on television do that, then that's got to be difficult. So this is difficult. So he says, if you are touched by the words of the song, all right, if we're touched by the words of the song, I'm touched. Then maybe you got it bad. Oh, this is okay. I don't know if this is a flashback or a makeup, but we'll find out. Hang up and you call right back. Huh? I see. So he's kind of lamenting the change of losing someone and losing the person that's been in his life for X amount of time, and then now your life's off track. So I can understand that. That's actually that's actually a very difficult thing to go through. When your life you feel like your life's getting off track. What I've found as I've gotten older is that it's your life is it's going on to another track. It's not getting off track. I mean, it is off track, I suppose, from the track that was on, but it's going to a different track, and that new track is going to lead to different things. And so this can be difficult to see while in the mix and while in pain, because clearly look at his face. You can clearly see this is painful right here. He probably needs to turn off the television and not even bother with the television, for a while. Maybe play some video games, do something. Don't have the television on running. Definitely don't make phone calls and hang up and all this kind of stuff. That's kind of crazy stuff. And then that just makes things worse. And then you start obsessing it over your mind over and over and over. So your whole life's off track. Yeah. I mean, it can feel that way. You have it bad when you're stuck in the house and you don't want to have fun. I'm not sure what that means. I'm stuck in my house quite often, and I have fun by myself. I do things, a lot of different hobbies you can do. See, this is the thing. People need hobbies. I think there's a lack of hobbies going on in general. I don't care what it is, music, games, uh, art, whatever you want to do. You got to do something. Woodwork. You got to have some sort of hobby. Music. Uh, all right, I digress. So it says you got it bad when you're out with some. Okay, now we're progressing. Um, you got it bad when you're out with someone. Okay. So this, I'm going to take this as, he's out with his buddies and he's thinking about somebody else. It's generally not a good idea to be going out with somebody else when you actually start, going out with somebody else and you start thinking and you're thinking about someone else. Now, this is generally not a good idea, but, you can't prevent it a lot of times and it does happen. This is why time is needed, to take time, to process and start going on a new track and then kind of shut the old track down. And then so it says, but you keep on thinking about somebody else. This could be just in general when you're out doing things or with people, and then you just start thinking about the other person. This can be very distracting, and then you go down a rabbit hole and you start, reminiscing like he's doing now. Look at him; he's reminiscing. This is probably all going. This is on repeat in his head. This is on repeat in his head probably all day long, right? Because apparently he's still in love with this person. So it seems to be. He's definitely seems to be in pain over it, and so. But you keep on thinking about somebody else. All right. You got it bad, all right? When you say you love them, I'm a little confused by this one. When you say they love them, but you don't really know, everything that used to matter don't matter no more. Maybe it's just late and I'm tired, but I'm not really understanding this. Everything that used to matter don't matter no more. Just that statement, yeah, that's true. It would seem, I think I know what he's saying. I think he says when you lose someone, the things that seem to matter then do not matter because what actually mattered was that person, or maybe the things that you thought didn't matter were actually what mattered. So he said it much better than I did. So everything that used to matter don't matter no more. But I think that's what he's trying to convey here, and that's actually true. I think you don't know the true pain of the loss of love until the hour that departs. So it's a whole other thing of when love's truly gone, you start to reflect and then you start to see, because when things are gone and lost, then they actually have more meaning. That's just a general rule across the board. This is why history is so interesting. Once things are gone forever, then it actually becomes more interesting. Once somebody passes away or something, they become much more interesting. Apparently, you see this in artists and things like this. They pass away, then everything's more valuable or treasured more. So, anyways, we'll continue. Everything you say. Here we go. There we go. My money on my car. See, this is good. This is good. I like this. Beautiful. This is a common theme in love songs and things that and even books and all these things about love and all this. This is a common thing. All these things, they technically don't really matter. They matter for a time. Don't get me wrong. You enjoy it. And we live in a world of, me, money, and cars, And so, when you have that, when you have abundance as much as we do, then, that's kind of, you have, you're goal oriented. Your goal is to get more things and stuff and bigger houses and more cars and all this stuff. But eventually, at the end of it, you start to realize that it's actually the relationships that actually matter. And it was actually the love that actually mattered. Especially as you get older and you start to lose people, you'll start to see like, oh man, this is actually what mattered. So Usher's right here. He has a little epiphany or epiphany. And he says, I had it all wrong. You can have it all back. You don't have to give it all back, technically. You can still keep it. Just take a recognition of, that those things don't have as much value as the person that you're actually with and that you love. By the way, this ladder here, guy, nothing wrong with carrying the ladder that way. You just got to be really careful. I've carried ladders like, well, I'm just being ridiculous now. I carry ladders like that. I'd bang up the walls and all this stuff. It's usually a general good idea to hold the ladder below. Don't put it up on your shoulder like that. So that way you can kind of see where everything's going. But Flowers, cards, candy. I would do it. I said I'm fortunate to have you, girl. I said I'm fortunate to have you. Okay. Okay, this is good. He's trying to woo her back with these words. This is great. This is a wooing. There's nothing wrong with wooing. This is basically just the the age old thing of boy chasing girl kind of thing. You see all these sweet things, and then these are women like this, and nothing wrong with that. This is I really adore you. That's actually a great line. Adore is a word that's not really used that much anymore. Adore is kind of an older word, I would say, that we don't see used, and it should be used a little more because it actually is more of an endearing word. All my people who know what's going on. I don't know what he means by all my people. I'm assuming he means the people that have gone through the same things that he's talking about, that he's going through. Now, he appears to be very young here, so he's got a long way to go. I mean, I know this is actually really fascinating. I'm probably going to not probably going to upset some people here, but when you're like that young, he's looking like he's still in his 20s. I mean, I'm not going to say you don't know anything about love. You certainly do. You understand a lot about love at that time, but man, I tell you, as time goes on, you start to learn a lot more about love, and it gets a little more, gets a little crazier. And so it's and still, like, even where I'm at now, I still have a lot to learn about love. As I get older, I'll start to learn a lot more. So, all my people who know what's going on. Yeah, I know what's going on. I get it. And I'm sure other people do too, but I'd be interested to follow up with him on his relationship that this is probably 20 years ago. I don't know how long ago it was, but I guarantee he probably looks at this completely different. Maybe not completely different, but has sold some of the same views on this, but he probably changed his mind on a lot of things. So move on here. Okay, so now he's going the direct route. This is good. He's like, look, I'm going to be firm in what I want, firm in what I believe, and that's it. I'm terrible at this. I'm kind of known for being wishy-washy and not really know what I want and all these things and what's going on. Been like that most of my life, I suppose. But this is good. I like this, that he's actually very firm. Like, tell her, I'm your man, you're my girl. Like, this is a little more aggressive. Some people may find this to be a little too aggressive because you don't really own people, I suppose. But in the way that he's saying it and the way he's approaching it, as far as like with love, like, look, I'm your man, you're my girl, let's do this. I think this can make sense, especially when there's been some sort of traumatic events that have happened. If there's been arguing or infidelity and all these things, this can be very a good thing to actually be firm and actually what you want and what you believe to be actually true. So this is actually a good thing. There you go. So tell it to the whole wide world. This is another great tactic you can use when you're doing like a little makeup. He's really a lot of rain going on here, but he needs to take the beanie off. I don't know what the hell he's doing with the beanie on with the just soaking wet beanie. That's got to be really uncomfortable and super annoying. I would just take it off. Well, now I lost my whole train of thought, but I'm going to tell it to the whole wide world. This is a good strategy. It's like confessing your love to someone in front of millions, in front of a stadium of people. It's like, this is like a very powerful thing because you want everybody to know how in love you are and how much you love this person. And this is actually giving, glory to the person and glory to love itself, and proclaiming and doing the proclamation of, hey, look, I love this person. And so that can be a very beautiful thing. And I think that's good. I think that's a good thing to do. Oh, shit, back. Okay, you got her. I got her with a catchy tune. He got her with some nice words there. Adore, whole wide world. Let him know I'm your man, you're my girl. So yeah, that worked. All those things worked really well. He probably could have lost the soaked beanie. That probably didn't help him out much, but probably could have kicked it up a notch by getting rid of that. Or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he kept it on because she may think it looks good or something. But Let's see here. Drops to his knees. This is another good strategy to drop your knees. You're going below, so you're submitting. You're having your submission to the woman who's look at. She's smaller, obviously, so him getting on his knees and having a submission and showing like this is he surrenders to her. This is basically what love is. Love is basically a surrender. You surrender yourself to the other person, and you say, "Take me, do with me as you will." And people do. You know, people can actually create a good life like that, or they can just rip somebody apart. So this is a bit of a surrendering, which is what love does. Oh, there it is. And so he has another little bonus strategy there, which is actually works out well. She's got the little chair over here, so she must be doing another commercial or something. She's got a nice little thing here. I think he walked up to like a little, I don't know what these are called, little RVs or something, but they're like where all the actors stay and get all done up and stuff and all that. So she's probably getting ready for her next commercial or whatever. I'm gonna love you the best I can, I think is what she said, and that's great. See, I've been there, done it, humped around. See, he needs to leave that part out. He did all that work and he did really good, and now he says, "I've done it and I've humped around." I don't know why that would be a thing again when he got her back. He should just stop right there and just stand up, hug her, and say, "Hey, let's go get some dinner. Let's get something to eat." Do not say, "Where do you want to eat?" That's a big thing. Don't say where you want to eat. You need to say, "We're going to this restaurant. I made reservations." Bam, and then there you go. Okay, so he didn't do this. I think he's daydreaming. Oh, see, this is, never mind, see? Well, you know what? This is a good case in point. He should have done that. If he doesn't do it now, we'll see. Oh, he walked away. He's walking away. It's too bad that you can't see. So he's walking away. He's looked at it. He's like, dang, It's that same thing when you try to pick up the phone. You want to call the person that but then you're like, no, I shouldn't do it. I shouldn't call. Usually you shouldn't. You usually shouldn't call. If you're doubting, if you're like, man, I shouldn't. No, you usually shouldn't. But if you went all that way, I mean, you might as well knock on the door and just take a shot. Take a shot in the dark. I mean, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So just take the shot. There's a guy behind him looking like he's going in with an umbrella. Okay, so umbrella guy comes out. He's going to help her out. Oh, she sees him, and when you're on the phone, he's repeating the same thing. And you got the umbrella guy here, and she's going to come out, and she's going to see him. So let's see what the reaction is here. Okay, what's this? Piece, the top 10 stylish celebrities. Standard. Okay, she's doing magazines. Okay. Oh, he sees her everywhere. He's got to stop this. I don't know what he's doing with the shirt there. It's a little robot. He's doing the robot. That could just be a frustration. He looks like he's extremely frustrated now. So I've done the robot a few times. Maybe not out of frustration, but just it's kind of fun to do a little bit. Doing the robot again. Or is that a pop and lock? I don't know. A robot is a pop and lock, right? Is it called pop and lock? It's probably called something different now. But he's good at it. Well, yeah, I mean, you can rip one down. There's a bunch of them there. I mean, you don't want to, be vandalizing or something like that. But, I mean, I can see the frustration. That's fine. More rain. This is a common theme. I keep saying this, and I've watched tons of these videos, and the rain is a common thing, and I think it's an element, right? So it's an element of rain it symbolizes a lot of different things. I won't go into all that, but it does symbolize a lot of things, just like spring, summer, fall, all these things, winter. These all represent different times, seasons of a person's life. And so raining can obviously represent a season of someone's life of loss. And specifically of love, of a reflection of what they feel inside. So thunder crashing, guitar solo. Let's listen to the guitar solo. Dance on the pole. This is frustration dancing. This is frustration dancing here. But it shouldn't be, again, I would advise him not to bring up the humping thing. Humping thing is generally not a good idea to bring up. Little air guitar there. That was nice. Kicking the water around. It's classic. You know, it's a very kid thing to do, but as an adult, you know, it's even, you can do it. It's good dancing. Good dancing. Very good. Okay, now he's giving up. He's just like, man, I can't take it anymore. He's got to let it go at this point. He's got to let it go. Back home, I guess. Reminiscing again. I mean, this is the same. This is love. When you lose love, it stays on a loop. It's just on a loop, and you got to get yourself out of the loop. There's many ways to get yourself out of the loop. It is difficult, but the good news is that there's a solution to all of this, and it's just called time. Time goes on. You don't think you're going to make it. You will. You'll make it. Okay, get the dog tag there. Okay, just ruminating here. Okay. Okay, he misses her. All right. Classic story. Wasn't that bad. It was actually pretty good. The only glaring thing to me, like he did all that stuff good. Honestly, when she came out the door there, you know, it's kind of a cliffhanger. I don't know what happened. Maybe they got back together. I don't know if this is even a real affair that actually happened. Were they actually together in real life? I have to Google it now and see if that actually was a real deal. But yeah, this can be a bit agonizing for the loss of love and change. But you know, change, going to a different track. You know, sometimes it works out even for the better. So there it is. It was a good video. I enjoyed it. All right, that's it. Do another one.